is is the director and owner of the California Storm. And she's an investor in the new women's team that's coming to the Bay Area. So she's, yeah. I'm not sure if you're aware of the California Storm, but it's a team that's been around forever. At one point, I think it was a national team. At least it was a place to keep the female players moving when there was nothing for them professionally. And then finally, we have a legend, Golden Boot winner, Sissi from Brazil. She injured herself playing basketball. playing soccer, of course. So second knee injury, and we wish her luck. And yeah, and then you know the rules. All right, so I asked ChatGPT, what should I ask these four? Okay, and the first one that came up, so I'm going to ask one question and we'll open up. The difference between the American player and the French, Spanish, or Brazilian female players. From your observation, les différences de le joueur,
yes,
au français,
I just had a little experience with my work in USA the last 5 years, and the difference between the French player and the US player, for me, is the hard working for US player. I think there's a culture of hard working and to work for themselves. Maybe it's becoming because in US the boys and girls have to go to the university and they can do it by being good at sports. So they are developing since the young age to hard working for their body shape and their skills for soccer. And I think in France, as you go to school and it's open for everybody, it doesn't give to the players to the culture of hard working for themselves. So I appreciate, and I see that in a lot of states in the US, that the players and the girls players work hard. So I like that. And I don't know if I can tell you the difference is about the culture too. So yes, if we are going to Asia, we will see a different style of soccer because the culture is different. So, and that's what I like when I'm coming here, to discover the American way of life. And of course, if it's the same soccer, it's not practiced as in France. So,
thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Okay, I think the main differences between an American player and a Spanish player is the way to understand soccer. Yeah? I think, for example, yesterday I was watching the LA match against Washington Spirit, and especially the second half was go, maybe maximum 4 passes, yeah, or 5 passes before going to score. And in Spain, this is very different, yeah, because, and it's related with the way we train and the way we are working during the week, yes? I think here you are maybe more creating athletes, building top athletes, because I think that American players, they are incredible athletes, yes? But maybe sometimes they are not making the right decisions. Okay, so they try to go too early to the opposite goal, or they are trying to go forward always without thinking if it's the best option or not. Yeah? Sometimes in Spain, we decide that this is the best option, but maybe we are not good at enough. Yes, so we need to improve also this. Yes? I think now we are finding more the balance. So in Spain we are improving the fitness part or fitness structure, and also in America, you're improving in these making decisions or this tactic related with football. Also because you, coaches, you are improving also your level, and you are helping more players to make better decisions and to play better football or soccer.
Thank you.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with both of them. I think in America we have always big, strong athletes, and we think, okay, we can just set the ball along, we can run onto it. It's a much more direct style of play. But I think that only can get us so far. And in my personal opinion, I think that it's catching up with us because other teams, they are developing more in their game and their play. That they're popping off their player, playing in the half channels and channels for vertical balls, switching the field more, where it's more dynamic and it's more having possession of the ball as opposed to being the strongest and the fastest out there. And so I think that the U.S. is starting to focusing a little bit more on that, and that's going to take us longer, but we really need to instill that more. And I appreciate that, we're going in that direction because it's just so much more creative. It's more fluid, and it's going to develop the game in the United States for the long run.
Now, Brazil versus U.S. There we go. I love it. I love it.
I can give you 2 cents, no problem. I think, when we compare Americans and Brazilians, I think we are both creative. And I think this is the difference that I see even when I was playing. Now I think we start to close the gap a little bit when it comes about the physicality. So we developed that throughout the year, but in terms of we play a very different style. And I think it comes with, style of playing, being more creative on the ball. So I think that's the huge difference, especially when I was playing. But I can see now we change and we start to adapt to that because we always had the problem with the physicality. So finally we start to adjust to that, and we have now, we change the way we play, but definitely the creativity, I would say that's a huge difference.
Thank you. Questions here?
Creativity, individual creativity or team?
I think both. And growing up, a lot of things that I was able to do, it was not because my coach taught me how to do it. So everything was very natural. So, but having a different coaches, and now even in Via, we start to change a little bit our style of playing because we know it's hard to compete with, when we talk about, especially in the United States. So we change a little bit to get rid of that. But one thing we don't want to lose is our creativity. We have to run into the ball.
Yes.
So, Jamie, now that you're an investor in the Bay Area team, if a Sacramento team comes, does that mean you can't be part of that?
That is a great question.
I know it pretty well, so.
Yeah.
I do have a real question, and I'm serious. I know you're slightly different position, but Sissi, if you compare yourself, Marta, and Dunya in your primes,
Sissi's the best.
Sissi has one of the
No question.
genuinely greatest free kicks in the history of the male or female side of soccer. But Marta was probably game-changing with her pace and trickery, and now Dunya is kind of a complete player. And is there any new Brazilian player we should watch for in the World Cup?
People only know these other players' names because of Sissi. I'm just throwing that out there.
A new player right now, I would say Carolyn is one. But Marta is Marta, yeah. I know always people try to compare her and I, but I play a different style. So I was more of a playmaker. And that's one of the things that I've been missing. I always looking for will watch soccer, I will try to look for the place that can make it different. So, but yeah, Brazil is very young too. But of course, we want in Marta, you know, I hope she still can do things because we're still trying to look for to get a trophy. And one thing that I was not able to do in Brazil, but I hope we can do this time. Oh, Gabriel. She's one of my favorites.
Guys, I love you, Paris. This is probably the best question to ask. Is that first question. It's kind of a two-part. From a tactical mindset and from a fashion mindset, the difference that you see between the American players and players from Brazil and Spain. Tactical, technical, or fashion.
I think we can divide a player and emotion and tactical and technical. So we speak about the football player, about the footballer. It's everything. That's so. One player is very good in skills, but she's not ready because of her emotions. She will never success. Never. And we have a lot of examples of very good players or talented players that they are playing in the third division or the fourth division because maybe she's not controlling her emotions, or she doesn't like to work so hard during training sessions, or maybe because she doesn't understand the game, and it's another part, yeah? Or maybe because she doesn't take care of her nutrition. Yeah, it's another structure that you have to take care of. Yeah, so if you have to work with players, young players and old players also, all players, you have to take care about all these different structures. Not only fitness part, not only skills, not only tactical. Yeah, you have to mix all together. You have to help them to develop all these structures. Yes, and you have to help them because you are coaches. Maybe in Barca we had a very big staff with one psychologist, one nutritionist, one doctor, one physio, but maybe you're working alone with your team, or you with one assistant coach, and you have 20 players. So you have to help them in all these different structures. Sometimes you will be video analyst, sometimes you will be psychologist, and sometimes you will be nutritionist. Yes? So you need also to improve yourself and your knowledge in all these areas. And courses like this are very good because we can help you, but don't stop improving yourself as a coach. Yeah?
Just to add to what you said, when you said it's important to work different aspects, I would like to add that in my academy with my team, to work different aspects like practical, technical, mental, and physical, but what's important is to work it together in the same exercise. When I was formed with coach's diploma 20 years ago, they allowed us to, you want to improve skills of control and pass, so you are in front of a teammate and you do that. You can be a specialist of doing pass against a wall, but it's not soccer. You can be a specialist of jumping, so you are a freestyler, but you are not a soccer player. And so it's the same also for the physical aspect. If you work only physical without the ball, you will. So in an exercise to have all the ingredients of soccer, I think it's very nice because soccer, you have always in the game, when you analyze the game, you have always a aim to go for the goal or an area. You have always opponents who want to steal you the ball and you make pressure. You have teammates, you can play with him or not. And you have also the physical aspect. And if they are the opponents, mentally it's not the same. So, and to do your technical skills, for example, control and pass under pressure with opponents, that's the reality. Because to use codes and to make 500 pass a training session without any opponents, without any direction, without any info you have to take before to receive the ball, you seem to work well because you are doing a lot of pass and control, but it's a fake situation, so you are learning a fake skills. So maybe it's better to do only 50 control and pass, but in a game situation, with opponents, with pressure, that should be better and more real.
He's explaining very good and in a very simple words the complex theory. Because soccer is about complexity. It's a complex system where if you move one piece, it will affect all other ecosystems. Yeah, there are a lot of books speaking about that. So if you want to learn more about this theory, then you can look for some rules on Google because you can learn a lot and you can understand more what Julien was explaining now.
I'd just like to add one thing. I think as coaches and as a society, we don't focus enough on recovery, and that means not just physically but mentally. I think it's important. We feel like we have to put our kids. I saw so many kids coaching that got burned out, got injuries, and all this stuff. And I even made the mistake with my own son of, you're getting asked to play, guest play on this team, and I bring them, this is a great opportunity. They're not going to get this opportunity again. We got to do it, and just kind of, now we got to get you into extra strength and agility training, and just the burnout that we put on these kids, it just becomes overwhelming physically and mentally. And I think it's important to let them miss the game a little bit. Let them take a break, go with your family, go play some basketball, do something else that's gonna just separate that. And I think that's one of the best things you can do for your teams, for your kids. And unfortunately now my son's playing basketball, but it's I'm glad he's playing the sport. But you see it so much nowadays, and I'd say for the mental well-being, it's so important to give them that break. And a lot of times those kids, they come in with this fresh perspective, and they're super excited to play because they did have a little mental break, a physical break from it. So that's where you're going to see that creativity. You're going to see them compete more in the different games and stuff because they did get away from it. But when you're competing constantly day in, day out, I feel like it kind of numbs it a little bit. It doesn't make it as important.
Along those lines, there was a study done in Poland. Children grew faster during their summer break when they weren't playing soccer and they didn't have school. They were able to sleep in more and their bodies actually grew more. And Gordon Young, who was here, who did the presentation for the teams, talked about players growing in the academies that he's worked in. During the break, there's always that physical growth. So, along those lines.
Yes.
For the girls who see there's like need that you have no roads. Have like 2, 3 be looking like playing, but I guess what are some of the reasons you think it is that church that are nice physiology and less focused on fitness and what things
I've been, I just had a recent conversation with a former player that was in the NWSL, a phenomenal player, and it's something that she's really looking into and trying to press. But we've been hearing, tell me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows differently, but that a lot of the studies are targeting women for these ACL studies. And I've been hearing that, some people think it might be, shot related. I don't want to get into that, the perfect shot. And then, but the big thing we're hearing is that maybe it has to do with when you're on your menstrual cycle. Sorry guys, I know that's like an awkward topic for 95% of the men in here. But that's the stuff that I think that we really need to look into. We need to find out because maybe we're more careful with that. Also, potentially the type of cleats that you're wearing, are they more, gripping the ground better as opposed to the straight studs like the Copas? So I think there's a lot of unknown because there haven't been enough studies done, but there are definitely the exercises that you can do to help strengthen and try to prevent. So I would absolutely look into doing a lot of that, but it's when their bodies are changing and everything too. It's just such an unfortunate thing because you see how many players we've lost going to the World Cup that have had ACL injuries. So it's very alarming, and some of the players have been vocal that they don't have the resources that the men's team have, and so that's another potential thing. So I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I just looked up studies, so there's, I'll read further. Now, but it'd be interesting to know, in professional or national team level, what do you do to try and not have these injuries? Is there a program?
Jordi can explain you better what about the injury prevention rate with the ACL injuries. Would you like to explain them? Please. Why women related ACL injuries with women and men? But you only have 2 minutes because he can explain that in 2 hours. Jordi, you have to do an answer only 2 minutes.
Hello everyone. As he said, maybe I need 2 hours or 3 or 1 day. But if we have to try to do someone penalty, there's a lot of reasons why. It's not just 1 or 2 or 3. First of all, is women and men, they have wider needs, for example, so the way they run the system, the way they stay without the system, one. Second one, you have to control the menstrual cycle. So when we start, we should take care of. And we need to know how it works, how it affects them, and how it relates to the Third, strength is really important. Normally, as women is growing up, they also need to train up possibilities to train, and we also need to take care a lot of we need to cope with these forces of breaking this something nutrition is one aspect, and then we check for all of the reasons, but I think that this would be maybe one of some of the main reasons that why women are more dependent on
Good talking.
Okay. Next time, we have him present, and quite honestly, an expert in the field how to present. And also, hey, what are the FIFA 11? Is that a good pre-training ritual to have? Is there something that they can find simple that they can integrate into their warm-up that would help?
Yes, if I never was designed for all these clubs, they know how to social, they know how to do things. So they created this space of warm-up, focusing on coordination, strength, and mobility. So they teach and they touch all the aspects of the warm-up. If you have knowledge, if you have experience, if you have coordination on this, you can prepare all the knowledge. It's really good to have at least this resource to apply this.
Okay. So we were in Mexico with a group, and they told us 80% of the injuries could be prevented by warming up properly with the movement rather than serious. They're online, and so it's within our hands to do this without resources.
only I want to add that you can do all these and you can invest a lot of money in injury prevention, a lot of time, a lot of resources, but you will never reduce to zero the risk of that injury. Yes, so we can help players to reduce the risk, the percentage, but you will never reduce it to zero. So if some player got injury, don't get crazy. Yeah, because we had this problem in Barca, and one player, ACL, and doctor, physios, fitness coaches, crying, and no, so it's an injury, it can happen. Sometimes you can control some factors, but sometimes another player can come and can hit, and you can do nothing against that. Yes, so you can reduce this percentage, but you will never reduce to zero. Okay?
We have our young Brazilian friend here.
Leo Messi.
Do we matter? Do we that? Yeah? Anyone else?
Okay, so we mentioned on injuries and burnout, and Sissi commented she learned a lot of her skills outside of coaching. My question is, in our culture in America, our players tend to play only in organized environments, and we're lacking the culture of the street football and the pickup culture. How important do you think it is for players to play on their own outside of competitive, organized environments in terms of creativity, in terms of development, in terms of love of the game? In your opinion, do you think our culture is bought too much into the organized, competitive structure? And how would we inspire our players to play on their own?
Now that I'm into coaching, one of the things that I've been trying to pass to my players is the way that I also work. Because I grew up in Northern Brazil, which back then I had used my balls then. Okay, so for example, and I always had the freedom to play outside, street soccer, play boys. There was no structure. Okay, so everything that I learned was without any structure. And I think that's also developed the passion for the game, which I got from my dad, but also from playing boys. So it was definitely difficult because I was part of the organized team, which was not very easy. And I finally had a chance to be part of organized team when I was 11. Okay, so, but one of the things that I see which is different between here and in Brazil is because we do a lot outside. We don't have a lot of good fields. But, so, and I'm trying to pass this from players to retreat to a lot of things on the lawn. Playing with boys, playing with shoot without shooting something that I really don't want. But it's changing a little bit, but not so much in the way that I would love to see, the way that I also was able to play in Brazil. Watch soccer games too, because it's important. But because the culture is still with a lot of leagues, a lot of programs, it's hard sometimes to keep up with the amount of leagues we don't play right now. And the pressure that we put on the kids from the parents as well. So I always say to kids also, have fun, because at the end of the day you have to have fun. And I was glad that I don't have coaches to tell me every single time what to do. It was good to have them to guide me, but also they give me the freedom to do a lot of things. Play with freedom, play without a lot of structure. So everything that I learned is what I'm trying to pass my players on. It's still, you guys have a long way to go for sure, but I hope we can pass that to the kids to allow them to maybe learn a little different. So I'm glad that I was able to bring something. If we can go in Brazil, we still try to make sure we can get something from here as well in terms of, there's still a long way to go to in terms of the organization and structure and everything. But
go and have fun. And they play for the love of the game and play for the love of each other. And I remember reading Abby Wambach's book, and one thing I really took from that when I started to see my son get burned out was for, when her daughter would get in the car, she said, I would never coach her or say that you should have done this, you should have done that. I would just tell her, I really enjoyed watching you play today. And that really stuck with me. So even with, the California Storm team, every halftime, before every game, I say, go out there and have fun. Because that's what it's all about, and that's when they're going to play their best.
In Spain and France, is there a street football culture?
I think yes, and it's also because of the society evolution. Also because today in Spain, every afternoon when children go home, they are not thinking to go out to play soccer on the street. They are thinking of playing with the iPad, with the PlayStation, because it is also for the parents. Because you know that their son is sitting on the sofa and she won't move from there. And if he's out in the street, you have to be controlling him, or it's true that some years ago, the street was more safe place than today. It's also true, especially in big cities like Barcelona, Madrid, or big cities. In small cities, small towns, you can see a lot of young boys and girls playing football on the street. It's true, but each time less and less. So if the society is pushing children to that part of the entertainment related to the future, we as coaches in clubs or academies, we can help them and let them play. We can create these scenarios for having fun during the training session. Sometimes we as coaches, we want to control everything, and you go there, and you pass there, and you turn, and you pass back. No, let them play, because maybe they are able to find the right solution. Yes, but sometimes we want to find the solution too early. No, let them play. Let them create different options. Maybe one option is good, maybe one option is not good. Yeah, but let them create or find the right solution. Yes, and let them play and have fun. But we can create these scenarios. Why don't we instead of 2 rows and pass, we can create small size matches and who scores stays. That's all. No rules. It's soccer. Play, have fun. And they will develop different solutions. Okay? Today, you watch football on TV, I miss unexpected solutions. Everything is happening, but we can tell what will happen. That's because everything is under control. Everything is expected. And we need more Brazilian style of play. There are more creativity. There's more unexpected solutions. More summer.
So you were thinking that maybe too much organized practice. It reminds me of a sentence, a famous sentence in Europe about say when he was young, he used to practice 5 hours in Ajax, Amsterdam, but also 15 hours on the street. And that's a resume of yes. And when I was a young coach, I thought I was forming player, but now I'm discovering that I'm not forming player. I'm organizing a situation at the training, and he's forming himself in my organization. And about the autonomous practice, yes, because of the phones, iPad, the safety in the streets, but also the number of little stadium in the cities, and also the place of soccer at school too, because I remind that when I was a kid, 10 years old, we didn't need a coach, a ref, bit, and a ball, but sometimes it was a bad ball, but no problem with that. And goals, we did it with our school bag. lot of things to create an environment to enjoy first. Because I remember my best games was with my friend at school, was played at 120%, because this was against our friend or the other class. And so the place of soccer at the recreational time at school in France, my kid is 9, and the director of the school said, no soccer in the place for recreational, because the soccer take all the place and the other kids can play, and girls can play too. So I think we practice less than before. And just to finish, in Argentina we have Messi, Brazil we had a lot of players like Ronaldo and a lot of others. In France we had maybe Zinedine Zidane, and I think no one tells them how to dribble, how to control, how to create. And so they develop their skill by themselves. And I think we have to think about to recreate the environment to encourage the autonomous practice.
Yeah, and hey, I would be careful to blanket statements, because I guarantee you out here, those boys play on their own. We go to Salinas, we're starting at PPP South, because the players can't come to the training sessions here due to traffic and their needs. Their families are working, so we go there. Football Central. Football in 99 is a football highway. We go to Merced and we work, and we have to kick kids off the field. And I try and let them stay on until the absolute last moment that we need to fill. And then I ask them to leave, and I tell them, we take a water break, feel free to use the goal for a few moments. So there is football being played. It's just not with gringos. And the gringos that do, our PDP on the boys' side is largely Hispanic, because they do play football. They watch it, they play it on their own, and it's part of their passion and culture. And the few gringos that are in this, they're people who probably have I coached one player's father, and the kid, they call it the coffee park game. Gabe Root, who works for US Club Soccer, he was part of the game. There's like 5 players who came out of the park. They created their own football. Lastly, Bergkamp, read his book. He talks about how much he trained against the wall. Messi, they thought he was an alien because he hit the ball against the garage so many times. Zidane talks about in the concrete, dribbling. Cristiano Ronaldo on his own. Johan Cruyff, there's a famous picture of him juggling in his dress shoes. He got in trouble for it. So there's the football. Finally, in Spain, I was in Bilbao on one of our coaching education trips. I was sick, so I missed the game, and I was walking to get medicine. I have 9 different pickup games going on. It was on a holiday, 9 different pickup games. David Robertson, who just left, Robo, he's going to meet his family in Rome, and his in-laws took him on a cruise. His wife has been sending photo after photo of kids playing soccer in Italy. So it is still there, but my final thing is I was in Barcelona, La Masia, prior to COVID hitting, and they told us that the difference between being an 8, so 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, was the street. The difference between an 8 and a 10 was the street. That background and the feeling and the total command of football. So, next. No Giants fan.
Go Dodgers!
So, I kind of a follow-up question to that. I love to watch my forwards be creative with the ball. I get frustrated at the age that you're coaching because their ability to identify and how to be people that have to be in front of me, maybe not the best time for me to plan lessons, maybe passes and everything. Have you found games that encourage kids at that age to identify as a forward, hey, keep your eyes open. I'm very frustrated by that as a coach. Helping forward both be creative and do great things, but recognize that's not all the time. You have to reach the ball out very now.
always a question of balance for a lot of things. But for example, me, during my training sessions, I never tell them you have only 3 touches or 2 touches. They are always free, because I want them to make the choice, their own choice. And if they are doing passes, because the rule is to play 2 touches, it's not, they don't do it because they see the situation, because it's the rule. And sometimes during soccer, it's better to not give the ball. You have to keep it, to slow down, or to dribble with it, and to dribble the opponents too. And so the most difficult thing in soccer is to unbalance the opponent or the defensive line. So when you have players who are able, who like that, and who are able to do that, it's a chance. Because I had also players in my team who are doing only passes, but never drive the ball. And it's another problem, to not take a responsibility, and so you need several kinds of players, but if you dribble every time and lose the ball every time, it's a problem, but I think you have also so you need several kind of players, and every player can bring something to the team, and you have to make understand to everybody that we need this goal player with this skill, we need these players who score a lot, we need this kind of defense. So, but I think, yes, it's nice to say, oh, you have to also make passes, not to dribble every time. You have to let him know when you can dribble, and you have to do it, and when in this pace or at this timing of the game, it's not the good choice.
And if he's always dribbling and always having success, maybe the problem is yours. Yeah? Because maybe this is not the best place for him to play. Maybe he needs to go to another league or another team and play against other boys or girls. Maybe because if he's having success always, maybe he's not improving.
Yeah, I think my big question is, what are the other forwards doing? Are they wide open? Are they mobile? Are they making overlapping runs and trying to unbalance the defense? Are they looking to get behind the back on the runs and then they're just continuing to dribble? If that's the situation where they are extremely mobile and they're not finding it, that's a great time to training to stop and say, hey, you have teammates, this is a full team experience. And a lot of times the teammates, they're going to get on each other and be like, dude, I'm tired of making this run, over and over and over, and you're not finding me. So I think that would be my biggest question to you is if they are super mobile and creating those opportunities and unbalancing the defense, but they're just not finding them.
Oh, dribbling, come on, this comes from our culture. We like to dribble, we like to keep the ball, but of course it comes to you to understand that it's the right time to dribble and the right time for you to pass. So I don't tell my players not to dribble. It's understanding of the situation, understanding what's going on during the game, understand also, I think also come with the age, but a young age, of course, you don't want to take away that. Comes with the freedom from them to be able to have fun with them. And then it comes with the older, when you get older, of course, that comes with you to understand the game. But from my perspective, in Brazil, we like to dribble. Sometimes we like to dribble out loud. But we don't want to take away that from play.
So when you were doing coaches, say within your first 5 years of coaching, what experiences or habits were most valuable to your development? What advice would you give to coaches in their first 5 years of coaching?
Okay, first, I think that here. So formation is very important. Attend courses like this or like other. It's very important when you start being a coach. Yes, because you will never stop improving as a coach. So you need to learn from others every day, every day, every day. Also, try to attend other clubs, other coaches trainings, yes, and matches also, because maybe you can get some good ideas from others. What to do or what not to do. Okay? 2. The third, feedback from players. This is a must. You need feedback from players. Yes? You need to know if they like what you are doing, if they agree with what you are saying. Also maybe parents, also maybe the methodology director, but basically players. Because you are working with them every day, almost every day. So you need feedback from them, because they will help you to be a better coach. Yes? And also, and the last one, think that you are coaching players, but you are coaching persons. Okay? So don't think only in having success, in performing, winning trophies, in gold medal. No, this is not the most important. The most important for you as a coach, especially if you're working with young girls or with young boys, is that after 10 years, some of these boys or girls can come to you and say, hey, you helped me a lot to be the player that I am today. Because you taught me this, and this. Or I remember that you sent me one time this. And I am a better player today thanks to you. Or maybe I am professional today thanks to you and your advice. So I think with these 4 things, you can be a better coach.
Very quickly, if I learned something the last 20 years, that now I take more conscience about the level of enjoyment during my training session. More they enjoy the exercise, more they are involved, and more they improve. So when I invite in my training session, I'm asking, will they enjoy it? Sometimes maybe it's better to be an exercise with not so incredible tactically, but where they will have fun, than to create maybe a very complex situation, but it will be boring and the player will not be involved. So that's my own experience. The pleasure to practice is very important for the players to do.
Yeah, you guys nailed it for sure. I think to knowing that you care about them as a person first, because they will play harder for you, they will be more dedicated for you if they know that you see them as a person, and they'll trust you. They'll listen more, they'll understand, want to have a deeper connection and go further in the game. And whether or not they become professional or they become, something else with their career, but you can give them those life skills through the game of soccer, and that's so important.
I would say be positive and have good energy. Always have the energy. But I think positive is very important. And let them know you care for sure. It's also something that I think is important.
Hey, while they were talking, somebody sent me a book, The Best, How Elite Athletes Are Made, and from it, a quote that I can't do it on classes, but the elite players have 10 hours of free play a week into their teams. So, and I wanted the joy. I did my German coaching license in 1994, and one of the elements was Spaß on football. So enjoyment around football. And I can't agree more. When players want to come to your trainings, football should be fun. And there are always days that you toil, but to have enjoyment around football. Okay, final question, we need to get moving. Who's going to win the Women's World Cup?
Who's going to win the Women's World Cup, one by one? Pass it. Here we go. Here we go.
Definitely not France, because I guess you have too much injuries. But why not a big surprise with Australia? Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
So, it depends on the list of Spain tomorrow. You know, there's a problem in Spain with players and coach, and we don't know what will be the list. Because if Spain go with all top players, I think maybe they have chances. But I know that they won't go all players, so I would say Germany.
Deutschland. Jawohl. We hope not. Must be.
I know. Go US.
Okay.
We have a lot of
Is this
injuries.
the thing? Okay. Yes. Argentina.
Of course I'm Brazilian. I would love to see Brazil win this time. But I think England, maybe this game, maybe. But England for sure. They look good.
Okay, that's to wrap it up. We have a fantastic session coming. Big round of applause. Okay, the final chapter. But hey, we'll close now. Thank you very much for coming. Can anybody that works or has a position, RAC, PAD, anything, raise their hand here? Anyone works for NorCal? Okay, so I'd like to thank them. There's over 100 people that do part-time work. There are another probably 50 that are RAC committees. The PAD committee is elected by the regions to deal with all the issues that come from all of their games every weekend. It's a thankless task. We have people on referee committees, people on all these different committees. So we thank them very much if you're one of them. Okay, two, we couldn't do this without your support. So this is taking the fees, investing back into these players that have been here, the PDP program, and investing into coaches. And we are starting to ramp back up our club development program. So it went away during COVID. Nicholas On, who was here for one of the days, he got hired away by the Olympic Club, an incredible position for him. But we are starting again with our club development program. So if your club needs assistance, make sure you reach out to us and we'll try and help you. Okay, and then finally, I think somebody said multiple times about the players. I truly believe it's a privilege to coach other people's children. And we have to always be aware that we're role models for them. And I fall short, so I've fallen short and will fall short again. But if we're reflective about it, if we hold this in our mind and think this is our child, even though it's somebody else's, and we treat them with respect, and we treat them the way we would like our children to be treated, then we can all improve this game, and that, in the end, is what we're trying to do. We want to leave football better than it was when we depart and take the depart. So, USA will win the World Cup. Germany, I think, out in the first round. Brazil, I'm sorry. No, I don't know. I really don't know. There's so many injuries, I think it's very unpredictable this year. So, and that's very unfortunate. And, yeah. But let's enjoy the session.